Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of a Magelord Tale. We're starting this episode off slightly differently. I'm just gonna talk a bit, because the past week has been one heck of a headache. I'll explain why in a moment. Don't worry, we're gonna get to other stuff this episode. I'm thinking of plotting out an area for a small farm for animals and a an apiary area for honey. But anyway, the reason that this past week has been a bit of a headache, just one thing after another. Things that had to get done. I had to... First off, I went up last Saturday, to help load the moving van to haul pretty much all the rest of my mom's stuff to her house way north of the Twin Cities. Well, on the north side of Twin Cities, or wherever she lives. I don't really know for certain. But anyway, went up there to load. Hurt my back loading, which sucked. So my back was sore the rest of the day, and I also had to help unload and do a little bit of cleaning in some spots. Yeah, what I did was I was spraying poison on fern stems that had been chopped down so that they wouldn't grow back anymore. Anyway, I was maybe going to be spending the night there. Thankfully, because I hurt my back, I didn't. I got to go home, take a bath, and yeah, that was fun. Not really, but whatever. Why does my thing keep popping up? Okay, now it's not going to do it. What the hell, gravel? If you rewind a bit and watch the gravel I'm sifting in the hotbar, it does that. Anyway, moving on. So, that was my weekend. I had Sunday to be kind of a day off. Monday, I don't remember what I did. I did laundry on Tuesday. Me and my girlfriend, we head to her parents' house and we do laundry there because it's cheaper than shoving our laundry into the washing machines here at my apartment and paying $5 a load to get everything clean. That might actually not be the right amount. It might be $2.50 a load. I don't remember the price. Anyway, day after that, I got to go to my stepdad's place to collect one of my mom's cats to bring up to my grandparents' place so they can haul that cat and the other one of her cats to her new home. Before I had to do it, though, I had to give the cat a bath. Fortunately, he can't hurt us because my mom decided to remove every single one of his claws, including the back ones, which I am not in favor of. At the very least, I think cats should have their back claws. And I'm iffy about the removal of the front claws. I get why some people want the front claws removed because the cats will scratch up the furniture, but if you raise your cat well enough, it won't destroy your furniture at all. Especially if you just have a scratching post for it. Anyway, had to give him a bath, which was actually not that bad. He stayed pretty calm throughout the entire ordeal. Yeah, he tried to walk away the entire time, but he wasn't like freaking out and trying to jump on top of the cupboards or anything. So yeah, that was good. And so got that done. And I also found out that day that the map for this server died. Oh, if it died, why is it still here? I'll get to that! So, the map died. The server kept on crashing when you try to load up the game. If you try to load up the map in single player, it loads up for a couple seconds and then crashes. So, for Wednesday night, wasn't really able to do anything about it. Thursday, I was trying to get in contact with the Resonant Rise guys because those are the people in charge of this pack, but for whatever reason, I was unable to get a validation email from them. Like, I waited hours and no validation email. And it took me like half an hour to figure out any location that I could possibly post a comment in hopes that a moderator or an administrator was able to see my plight to help me get validated. But me and Sparkmist were trying to figure out exactly what went wrong. Sparkmist thought that maybe it was something in his farm area. And it turned out he was right. It was something in his farm area. There's apparently a problem if you use a logistical... I'm going to have to stop sifting for this. Let me take the tape off my mouse. There we go. Logistical. One of these things, a logistical sorter. And he had a logistical sorter next to a crystal chest and an item duct with a pneumatic servo installed on the other part of the chest. And that, for whatever reason, caused a problem that made the map die. And looking at the crash log, it said it was showing that there was a problem with an item conduit, which is an item duct. So what happened is that we had to have the map downloaded. Then Spark sent a copy of the map to me. He had a copy himself. I tried looking through MC Edit to see if I could find the location where the problem was occurring. He did a much better job because he actually knew the layout of his farm, so he was able to find it. He deleted all the item conduits in the entire map of his farm. And that worked! So the map is back. Hooray! And that was Friday morning that he did that. So that was fun. And then Friday afternoon, which is yesterday for me, by the way, I had to go get a physical at the doctor, and that was actually over pretty fast. It was like 15 minutes. And they sprayed liquid nitrogen at a wart on my toe. I don't know if it took. But it does hurt now, so I'm assuming that it did something. So yeah, that was my past week in a nutshell. Sounds fun, but the most important thing is that I haven't really had the time to sit down and record videos for like a week, and I'm going crazy. So this is the first time I get a chance to actually record something in the past week. Actually, I did record Habitat Sunday. I forgot that. I downloaded Habitat, I played it a bit, I recorded it, which is having an update July 22nd, by the way. I'm looking forward to that. Looks like it's going to be a pretty fun update. Electricity and... what was it? Water? No, not water. It's electricity and something. Fuel! That was it, fuel. I knew it was a type of liquid. So yeah. I'm gonna head over to the other part of my island where the farm is at and see about making a plot for where I'm gonna build the farm and or apiary area. So see you in a moment. Such a lovely day for plotting out land. So, Where shall I set things up? I know I want to use this area. Here, let me close my window. I opened it for a bit because it was getting a little stuffy in here, but now that I'm recording again, I probably should have it closed since I'm close to a road that has lots of traffic. There we go. Much better. So, I want to have a small farmyard type area. Not a really big one, just... Oh, I got a heart. Huh. Just a big enough area to have some animals running around. It's not really going to be a functional farm, but it'll make the place look nicer, which is one thing I want to have with the main part of the island. I want a nice looking area where the crops supposedly are coming from. In reality, this small little farm is not going to be really enough for me. Personally, I would like more space. But it looks nice, and I think that's important in a build. And one thing I'm thinking of doing is actually having a path that goes along... Jeez, why am I lagging? Dang it. A path that goes along and, you know, it's going to be nighttime. I better just hop into bed. Goes along the lake here and heads to where the inn is at. And one thing I'm thinking would be kind of cool is if I were to make a small dock where you can get boats just to have some time out on the lake. This witch is completely gone, by the way. She disappeared into the nether. Never going to find her again. So I'm all alone here. Except for when Gold's online and she comes to visit. By the way, I changed up my armor. You actually will get to see that when I transform. Here. What you think? It's kind of bulky looking, I know, but I like the colors a lot better on this. And I kind of am debating on those crystals. Right now they kind of blend in with the color of the bulk of the armor. And I feel that they should probably be a slightly different color than the rest of the armor. Make it very contrasting. What do you think? Perhaps a sort of green. Anyway, too bad. Give me this bed. That really took a long time to break. Next time I'll just punch it. Ow. Fine, I'm gonna sleep in my basement. Screw you, monsters. Let's see, sleeping here next to all my machinery, that seems like a good idea. What am I doing? There we go. Sleep. Okay. Well, there's a couple things I wanted to explain down here, but I'll get to them in a moment. You know what? I've been using that raven form for a really long time. I think I should go with something different. I want to go with a butterfly. I actually want to save that. And where's the raven form? There. I am way smaller with the butterfly form. Or maybe not. My viewpoint is below where my butterfly avatar is actually at. That's kind of funny. Oh, the butterfly can't fly, can it? Darn it. I guess I'll stick with the raven then. Darn, I was hoping that the butterfly would fly. Something strange about the raven, it's actually smaller than the tiny bird. It can fit into places where the tiny bird can't. Okay, so back to work. Need to plot out where we're going to build the farm. I kind of want to have a barn. Maybe. Perhaps a small one. Nothing as big as what I got on Gurren Skies, which I need to really get back into playing, by the way. But something that would just make it look nice. So what I'm thinking is that I will utilize the flat area we have here. And that can be where the barn's at. The farm. All the animals. What is this, clover? Yeah, there's a clover patch. Cool. So, farm over here. Perhaps build the barn next to the shoreline. And I think up on this hill I can do the bees. Now there's a bit of gravel over here because this is a shoreline, but I think that will work out well enough. Because for the bees, I don't really need to go on into mass production right away. I can do that later when I want to actually get a lot of honey. But to start things out, I just want to get a few bees going. So, yeah. Bees over here, farm over there. I got cobblestone, which I can use to mark out the land. Suppose the first thing I should do is get rid of all these trees. I can replant them later. Let me grab my axe. I'll be right back. Alright, that's looking much better. Switch back to raven form. I'll have to get that butterfly off my hotbar. Sad it doesn't do anything. Let's see. I forgot there was a whole bunch of pork chops out here. They're probably spoiled by now. But also some wood. I already took a lot of the logs back that I chopped. Just wanted to get some sticks to make some fence. There we go. It's a lot of fence. I'll use the fence to mark out where I'm going to put the animal pens at instead. So, we do have a few holes to fill, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, they're tiny holes. Except for the big ravine. That's a little bit of a big hole. But other than that, they're tiny holes. Little itty bitty holes. And, I suppose the best way to start this out will just be get an idea of how big you want the pens. What do you think? 9 by 9? Give animals plenty of space to roam around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So about, about that big. Yeah, that should be big enough. I can't see any reason to make them any bigger. Maybe a little smaller, but this should be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, pretty much like that. Then, of course, have to light it up to make sure no enemy mobs are going to spawn in there. And perhaps I can do this just a little bit disorganized, I guess. Now, if I really wanted to make this a somewhat impressive place, I would just fence off most of the island and have all the animals running around freely, doing what they will. Which might not be that bad an idea to do in the future, but for now, animal pens will work. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So only had enough fence for one. I can make more in a bit. But we'll have 2 pens here. I think for now I'll put a pen coming off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Darn it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There. And I'll raise up the line here a bit, make so that a pen can fit in here. And perhaps another pen over here. Like somewhere in this general area. So yeah, that'll work. And then I just need to grab the animals, toss them in their respective pens, do some breeding so that there's a few of them, and tidy up the landscape a bit. I'm already thinking of how we can do this to have basically free-range animals. And what I'm thinking is, if I just dig up the hill so that there's a 2-block jump here, so they can't go up, probably up to around this point here. If I do that and fence off out to here and then just follow the shoreline just a little bit, and then come back around and just follow the gravel and just go straight to the hill, that'll give me a very large area for animals to just be roaming around in, and that should look fairly unique. And I probably will approve of that. And of course the bees are going to be up on this hill. I'll make it so that I'm getting some bees at least. I wonder if I can do the bee breeding with item ducts, actually. It'd probably be the faster way to do this. Anyway, to wrap up this episode, I'm just going to do a couple more things about talking. One thing is, I went ahead and I had some water wheels shoved in here because I was going to test. Oh no, I didn't shove water wheels in here, guys. Okay, what I'm doing here, these are reset. They should be up higher. Weird. Maybe the map bugged when we had to re-upload it. What I was going to do here is I was going to test how laggy the water wheels are. Like if they make any lag at all for the server. If they do, then I'm going to have to look at an alternate source of power. If they don't, then I can probably use water wheels to get my main source of power going. So all but one of these are spawned in. Everything else I'm going to be deleting and then regaining legit. I just need to have them here for a test. Also, one of these hardened energy cells is legit too. I tested out one of using just one kinetic engine, and it seemed to work fine. But to give you an idea of how this is going to work, I just flip this lever, water starts to flow down, and it does this cool pattern where it goes in, middle, outer, and middle. And that's going to be enough to make the water wheels turn and produce energy for me. So, clean energy. A lot cleaner than the lava I'm using, which is, I say it's a borderline clean energy. I'm reusing a material that is infinite. I'm not burning things, technically. I'm just taking advantage of heat that already exists. Why is this going down? I think I might know. You, get off of here. Did that fix it? Is it not draining anymore? Yep, it's going back up. Those lasers, I need to make sure I get something to turn them off because they just drain my system. Anyway, so that's one thing I'm doing. Also, I am getting back into Thaumcraft again. I've already hollowed out a room where I'm going to do my research for Thaumcraft. And maybe a few other things in here as well for Thaumcraft. I'm not quite certain yet. Or maybe I can make this just one big study / enchanting room. Have a desk for Thaumcraft, a desk for Ars Magica, some books, maybe an enchanting table. Who knows? I'll think of that later. Just be happy I'm getting back into Thaumcraft because there's a lot to do with Thaumcraft, and I'm thinking I might have Thaumcraft be my ultimate source of energy. It's a possibility, given what this mod pack has to offer. And over here, I'm gonna make another giant room like this, but it's gonna be for my smeltery, which should be fun. And I'm also going to be making a railcraft rock crusher because, well, earlier you saw me sifting gravel, and I've gotten a lot of broken ore, which I already did the process for of turning them into ingots. Got lots of iron, which is great. Some gold, thankfully. At least I don't have to go and get Medasium. Nickel, which is basically ferrous. Some aluminum, which is pink for some reason in Ex Nihilo. But whatever. So, yeah, I got a lot of the base metals. Now, interesting thing, when you are sifting the gravel, you will get ore that you can't crush and make into ore sand and ore dust. These ores stop at the gravel stage. You can't break them down any further. What you can do with them is turn them into an ingot through various means of smelting, turn them into a liquid in a crucible. You can break some of them down. Some of them you can break down. There. Which this is for mine chemistry, which I am definitely planning on getting into at some point, because this seems like a pretty interesting mod. There's the ore dictionary, which that has the dust and sand for these things, but you can't do anything to get them like that. What you can do, aside from throwing them into the smeltery and getting 1 ingot's worth out of them, is throw them into the rock crusher. Now the rock crusher will give you 2 zinc, well, two of any of the metallurgy metals as dust. And these individually can be turned into zinc. So in a way, I'm able to get double the ore from these. Plus a 10% chance of getting a third for each one of those. So that's pretty cool. Also, I got Sanguinite. I am so thrilled about that. Sanguinite has a very special property when you use it in the Tinker's Construct items. And yes, I can double it and have a 10% chance of getting a triple amount. So yeah, I'll be building a rock crusher at some point. It's a somewhat expensive recipe. It requires a block of steel, 4 diamonds, and 4 pistons. The steel part is going to be a little more interesting because it's hard to get, and an easier way to get it would be for me to use the manganese ore. with iron, because that makes steel in the smeltery. I might be able to just take the manganese, put it into here. Let me actually check that. Let's see. Get one manganese. That will turn it into an ingot. It will pop out in here. And if I throw it... Oh, I have pulverized iron already. If I throw it in here, I should get pulverized manganese. Manganese dust, excuse me. But can I... Yes, I can do it. Okay, so I don't need to make the smeltery quite yet, but I will make it just to have one. So, there we go. I can make steel pretty easily. So, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and fave. I will see you in the next episode, whenever that may be. Take care, guys, and goodbye.